Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect. We are penniless of the practically. We are penniless of the Practically Perfect Penny, and the lovely Laura has left us, and the marvelous Mac is off. Doing
Everybody's just doing their thing.
They are doing
What
their
in the
thing,
world?
but part of the reason they're doing that is because we've got a special guest today.
We do, yes.
We do have a special guest today, and if you caught the show last week, we already talked a little bit about this guy. But before I introduce our special guest, I do want to say Rhinestones and Rodeo tickets are on sale January 10th, 2026. Doors open at 5 p.m. Food's going to be amazing. Go to up@downcountry.com. Again, that's up@downcountry.com.
That's right.
Or call 217-617-3568. Okay, now that lovely infomercial is done.
Amazing.
And I did drop off the artwork at Hobby Lobby. It's getting framed right now. We are on it. However, we have the darling, the dynamic Brian Smith.
Well,
I would have thrown dazzling in there as well.
Oh, dazzling too?
I mean, you got to go 3 for 3. You know what I'm saying?
So, all right, if you
the
listen
bling and jeans are gone. That was back in the 2000s. I quit wearing them, so there you go.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, I will say that his darling wife kind of threw him under the bus a little bit.
I feel that.
Because she's watching the grandchildren, and he has to come and be with us. So she gets to watch the grandchildren, and he has to come and talk here.
I would argue this is way more fun.
Oh no, I'd rather watch the grandkids. I'm all
Kate,
about
Tony
the grandkids.
Tony, I kind of know our place. We jump in and help whenever we are needed. We know how that works.
I love it.
Anyway, if you caught the show last week, you know that I had the honor of going to the Salvation Army kickoff fundraiser, and I was super excited. And Brian, you don't know this, but I did a little bit of we did some Googling on the show last week.
There you
go. Because one of the things that I didn't fully realize is that the Salvation Army doesn't take state or federal funds. I mean, like that it is basically privately funded, donated. And if you say, well, that's not right, they can apply for grants. No, they can apply for disaster relief grants. I mean, that's a whole different thing. That is not your public tax dollars. That is. So all the good work that they do here is raised privately, and that's where this Red Bucket campaign comes in, right?
That's how it kicks off. Thank you for coming to luncheon. It was great. It's a great honor to serve in this capacity, and of course I'm a cohort. My lovely bride Donna is the main driver. I'm flying the co-pilot seat, but
no, she says he's the one in charge. He's the large and in charge is what she says.
He did exactly the right thing there. That was man to man, very nicely done.
Gave credit to the boss.
Very nicely done. That is the way you do it.
You slide in under the radar is what you call that.
That's right.
It's all good. Well, no, and this is very true. Salvation Army has been near and dear to our heart for years. When we had the Harley dealership, we did a lot of fundraising over the years, toy runs and campaigns. And, you reel this back even farther, touching to me personally is the fact that my mother was born in one of the Salvation Army hospitals.
Really? I didn't know that.
You roll back in the 40s and having an unwed mother was like a big black eye. And so anyway, heart goes out to that organization, so it touches the base personally.
Oh yeah, they do so many things. I mean, that's what I think people don't truly realize. Like when you start looking at the scope of what they do, from housing to feeding to nurturing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess counseling could kind of be part of. I mean, there is counseling, but then there's also. I mean, one of the things they did a good job at highlighting at the luncheon was it's a continued commitment.
Yes.
I mean,
it doesn't stop.
I mean,
there's something there every day, every night. Somebody needs a little hand, and they're there.
Yeah, and I mean, and so for some people, it's a one and done. They need it's a temporary. They've had a house fire.
Yep.
They've been burglarized. It's a one and done, and they just need a little help. For other people, though, if they're battling things like addiction, or mental health related issues, it's literally a hand for them to hold.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
For as long as they need it.
And it continues to be there for them. Okay, I don't understand this. I'm blessed. I don't have an addictive gene in my body to where, if I want to have a beer, I have one beer, I stop, I go home, or whatever. Yeah. Unfortunately, some of these people in life aren't that way. And I met a young man at the luncheon that came up to me and said, man, thanks for doing this. He is 14 years clean. He says like 29 or 30 years old. So he got addicted young. And Salvation Army took him in, went through all the programs, got things cleaned up. He's 14 years clean. He's a professional now in our local community here, holds down a great position, a job, and he's happy with life. And so he keeps giving back to them as well by lending them help with what they do production-wise and all their social media stuff and this kind of thing. So it's great for Austin to be able to do that.
It's a really cool thing, again, and I know, obviously around this time, so many people, look at the Salvation Army again, the kettles and everything like that are out and raising the dollars and doing things like that. But again, we can't emphasize enough, and I know that's kind of what you're alluding to, is just it is a year-round thing. It isn't just, hey, the holidays are here, which means Salvation Army's here. Salvation Army is here all the time. I mean, this is a big time of the year to help raise those dollars to be able to do this year-round.
Yeah,
exactly. 100%.
Well, and I think in the next segment, I want to talk a little bit about kind of the giving component of it. Yeah. But I also, one of the things, I got to meet a lovely man who has schizophrenia at the luncheon or whatever, or is living with schizophrenia.
Yeah, there you go.
And schizophrenia is one of those things. One of my very good friends when I was in high school was diagnosed at 21, 22 with schizophrenia, and it's been a lifelong battle for him. But with proper, you know what I mean? Advice, medication, counseling, like it is possible, so. Meeting this gentleman who the Salvation Army has helped, and they truly did help him. I mean, they stepped him through the entire curve from rock bottom.
Right, and the right processes are there.
Yeah,
for him to do that,
and helped him get the proper medications.
Yes,
and then and continued the support and continued and are still continuing. Like, I mean, he's doing extraordinarily well, but it's not like, hey, congratulations. I mean, so many. Well, in the disability community, we have this thing where they call it dropping off the cliff. Boop. Oh, that's great. Hey, you're doing really good. Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
Right.
But it's a continual battle.
Yeah.
It's a continual battle. And, I'm guilty when I was a young man. And when I would see somebody that I'm sure now has got a mental health problem or schizophrenia or whatever path they're on, I just thought they were a drug addict or something, they're crazy or something. Yeah. And that was me being, not knowledgeable, up to astute with what's going on. And as I've gotten older, those things are real. And the Salvation Army and these other organizations help that for sure.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's one of the things. There's still so much you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. And so I think it's very easy.
Very true.
When you grow up and you kind of just, if you haven't had an exposure, and even sometimes if you've had an exposure, then you just think it's typical, like, oh, this is just the way things go. We didn't know there was a diagnosis for that. I mean, that was just Aunt Sally. We didn't know
that was a problem. That guy's just crazy. Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, that sounds, but I mean, it is. But then as you look at the need for mental health, and I think that was one of the things that made me, we have always loved the Salvation Army, within my family, just ringing the bells, which I want to talk about again in the next segment. Like,
it's fun.
But I will also say, this campaign right now for them is a huge part. I don't think people understand, like for us, for Downcountry, it's Rhinestones and Rodeo. Right. Like, I need sponsors for budget, that. I need, like, the 1 year it was snowing. There was 1 year it was, I mean, everybody's like, you going to cancel? Yeah. No,
it's happening.
I have to have this. Yeah. This is not.
This is underwriting right here, baby. This is going to make the program go.
I have no choice. I don't care. You're going to have to crawl in the snow. I mean, because if I hadn't had it, I wouldn't have the dollars, because when you have to go, and really what I think people don't understand, there's a reason WGM does the bucket blitz and those different things, because I mean, and the goal, the need this year is at 444,000. Is that the goal?
444 angel numbers, baby. I didn't even know that. No. Okay, so somebody brought that to my attention, and we pulled that down, and they said 444. My gosh, Brian, you realize what that is? I'm like, no. So I had to look it up.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea. Did you know that?
Either. No, yeah, that's news to me.
Just Google that.
See, God is always so cool.
You get little goosebumps and hairs on your arms. Yes. Like, oof.
Yeah,
You know?
no, that's
Let
awesome.
let me ask you this, and again, you're dead on. Again, like WGEM, and we can talk about that as well. The Bucket Blitz is always a great time of the year, and I always look forward to it. For you though, you talked about your mom, of course, and kind of the introduction to it. But what was in your go back to the memory banks, like what made you get into this? Why did you want to get into this? Why is it now such a big part of what you do?
Initially, I would tell you that taking toys down, or go back to the late 90s and some of our first runs we did for helping Christmas, because we've been blessed, My sons have had no want for Christmas, my grandsons, truly I didn't have a want, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You go back to our parents, well, that's a whole nother world. You grew up in the 30s and the 40s, you didn't have much, zero. You kept everything. Mm-hmm. And so you ask that, Ryan, I go back and I think in the late 90s and the early 2000s, we were doing these rides, just hearing the stories back from some of the parents and some of the workers from the Salvation Army says, that kid that you guys got that black bicycle for that had the motocross handlebars and the red numbers and the grips, that you just made his day. Okay. And so I would say that it was more the knowing that you were able to fulfill some young person's heart for a short period of time anyway, help them get through maybe a bump that their parents had a rough road, couldn't buy a bunch of Christmas presents or even one Christmas present.
And it's not about the things when it's the it's not about that. It's about the magic, and it's about
the smile I was talking about. It was the feel
joy,
good,
and sometimes it's just the simplicity of those things, because I don't know that people realize how much it means when you're having a bad day, or even just like kind of going through a rough time, and then somebody does that one simple random act of kindness.
Yes. 100%.
And so it's more than a toy for a child. It's more. It's that hope. It's that possibility. It's potential. When we come back, we're going to talk about the importance of actually working with children and teaching them a culture of giving, and the importance that the Salvation Army exists. For now, this is #everyone talking about #everything. Good Sunday morning. This is #everyone talking about #everything. Yeah. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan. We're penniless, we're laurelless, and we're Macless.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, however, we have Brian Smith, who is dynamic and dazzling and all the things.
Oh, yeah.
And he is chairing the Salvation Army Drive this year as we get ready to go to the Red Bucket Blitz. Or Brian and Donna are doing this.
Right.
See, I got better give credit.
Got to get number one in there. Got to get number one in there.
Donna and Brian.
There you go. That's exactly
right.
it.
All right.
And Kate, I'm sorry. I should have brought my cowboy hat today instead of the
That's
ball
it.
cap.
Come on,
Dude, I'm going to the event in a cowboy hat. I'm not coming in a ball cap.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Well, and actually, I need to do that. I need to put the plug in too. We're talking Salvation Army, but Brian and his wife rooked me into doing the Family Feud for the United Way of Adams County, which they did on World Down Syndrome Day. So I've got from 11 to 1, I'm doing our World Down Syndrome Day party, and then I go directly into Family Feud.
You're not busy. You're good.
Actually, they did kind of. They owed me this show today. That's it.
She's gonna hit the button.
That's right.
Steve, I've got your answer. No. Oh, it's Rich Marcola, not Steve. That's right. Yeah.
So anyway, just so you know, while we are talking about the Salvation Army campaign today, they also have their hands in the United Way of Adams County fundraiser that will be on March 21st, which is a great day because that's World Down Syndrome Day.
Big time.
So you guys can go on ahead and mark that on your calendar. In addition to Rhinestones and Rodeo, in addition to hopping in there to ring the bells for the buckets, you got all kinds of community events coming up. I can plan your calendar.
Seriously.
We got to stay involved in community, baby. There we go. That's right.
Well, and that is actually what this next segment I really want to talk about is one of the things that I think is really important that the Salvation Army does. And Brian talked about it, starting with his mom, receiving, help when she was having a baby and moving forward. But one of the things that I love is there's a culture of giving that you will find very many times when I meet people who are involved with the Salvation Army. They aren't just giving to the Salvation Army, meaning they aren't just volunteering their time. They're volunteering their time at the Salvation Army, but they're also perhaps serving at the United Way of Adams County. They're perhaps also serving, in the local schools, reading books, doing things like that. And so it kind of becomes, and they brought this up at the luncheon, the importance of nurturing this, because we have to teach children and sometimes adults that the more you give, the more you.
That's a fact, Kate. I mean, and I don't want to say it other than you get what you put in it. Okay, and so we get a good community. It's because we're putting in it. Okay, and I feel that if we can bring our youth up, understanding the importance of giving back to your community, it comes back threefold. And not just financial means. I mean more of, personalities, love of the community,
empathy.
There you go. Right, understanding that everybody's not in the you don't know their story. I think Jean Buckley probably is one of the ones when we were a young couple, Don and I, she brought to us, and Jean's the Tracy Foundation lady. I'm sure you know her, Ryan. But anyway, she says, "You don't know their story, Brian. You don't know their story, Donna." So take a breath and think about it, and those words are so true.
Amazing. Well, and I think some people are like, well, how do you do things like? And I think sometimes we talk about this a lot. People think it has to be big things.
All
right. When my kids were little, and this probably sounds really silly, but we traveled to Boston a lot, and there's a pretty large homeless population in Boston. Yeah. And so I would get a roll of pennies. You know what I mean? Pennies, quarter. Right. You know what I mean? Like just kind of not a ton of money or anything like that, but it was for the kids, and sometimes it was quarters. Sorry, Dad. My dad's like, you were doing what? Like, but I mean, I would, but it was so good because the kids had to, they could sprinkle a little here, or if they had, somebody was maybe playing jazz music on the side, then I felt like it helped them notice.
Yeah.
Because so many people just walk by. And even when you ring the bell, if you haven't rung the bell for the Salvation Army, it's really interesting, the bucket, because a lot of people a lot of people stop and they give and they dig for their change, and I'm always like, oops, hold on, where is it? I'm digging, I'm one of those. But then there are other people who do walk on by, and it's a really valuable, good life lesson, in my opinion.
It is very important. Our grandkids notice that. And so I think it's great training, like you're talking about, for them to see that, because so many people are so, gracious and give, but then there are the ones who just put their head down and hurry up and run by so you don't see them, and you know them. I mean, we know a lot of people, okay, and they just put their head down and run by because they're whatever reason that I'm not going to ask, but when the young people see that, hopefully that sends a message to them that, maybe, I can help. I can give.
It's really interesting because you're standing there, you're ringing, and you don't need. But most people, not most. Yeah, no, it is most people. Most people, at least acknowledge your presence.
Yes, exactly.
They do acknowledge your presence in some capacity.
Yes, correct.
And so, for lack of a better words, a typical, I guess, adult. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting when people do walk by you and they don't even acknowledge your presence, kind of like as another human.
Right.
And when you think about, like, some of the people who are homeless that the Salvation Army is helping, like, that is their daily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they are being walked past.
And not even pay attention to.
Yeah. And you can say, oh, well, Kate, you're making a big deal. But I think when you have a little kid there and they're ringing that bell and they see that, well, what kind of human do you want to be? Right. I mean, it's a very teachable moment.
Right. 100%.
And my kids love it. Although Elliot broke the rules one year. Oh my God, Brian, he broke the rules bad. Like, you aren't supposed to grab people and bring them over to the fire.
Well, let's face it. Gotta love Elliot. There's no boundaries there. He just runs up and says, "Hey, come over here. You didn't put any money in this kettle. Come on."
Supposed to put money in this thing. Wait a minute.
Oopsies.
Hold on a second.
Well, we broke that rule. I hope they'll still let us ring the bucket. But he was, in his defense, he was a little guy when he did it.
Well, sure.
But I thought,
but I think that's part of it, though. I think it's exactly what you're saying. Not only Elliot, but I'm sure other kids maybe don't do exactly that, but that's kind of the thought, right? You're like, wait a minute, I'm doing this. I was told that, hey, people will put some money in. And again, not everybody can at some point. So we're not saying
exactly right.
You have to or whatever like that. But I think it goes back to your point of, like, not the expectation, but like this is why I'm here. I'm here to try to raise that dollar.
And I'm under the understanding, and we hopefully I've taught our sons this, and we teach our grandsons this. Hi, how you doing today? And a smile costs you nothing.
That's
absolutely
exactly right. Yes.
Okay, but it does build community character.
You don't
it's
always have to
friendly.
put money in the bucket.
Right.
You know, like I mean, like but you can say hi, and you can say Merry Christmas, or you can say, and you know, I do think there's a couple local businesses that I know do this very, very well, and I'm very appreciative of this. Where they set parameters on their giving. You can go, what do you mean?
Yeah, no.
Because there are a lot of needs, and there are a ton of different things going on, and people in it. Like it's actually when you start looking around, you're like, holy smokes.
What is the end?
I mean,
I get you. Yeah, you can sit back and be overwhelmed easily. You're like, oh man, I can only do so much, and you can. Everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah, and so I do want to be clear. Like, I don't have an expectation that you give to absolutely nobody.
No.
You can't give to absolutely everything all the time. But you know, I do think kind of do your research. Like for me, like Salvation Army is one like since it doesn't receive state or federal funds. You know what I mean? Like it's doing so much for within our local community here, and I think that and it's filling a huge gap.
Yeah.
That would not otherwise be served. So like obviously that for me is which is why we're having Brian on the show. Having said that, there's a local restaurant that I love how they do their giving, and their giving is if it is related to animals or art. Those are their two, you know what I mean? Like, boom. Like, if it has anything to do with art, then, like, absolutely, we're here to support it. But those are their parameters. I have their other organizations that say if it has to do with children, you know what I mean? If it has to do, then yes, we'll support it. And I think those things are, and so others say, no, you have to be a registered 501, and so parameters are fine. And actually, quite frankly, for those of us like Brian and myself who are out there trying to raise money, I really appreciate it. Well, you saved me time if I'm not going to fall within your
guidelines, what your expectations are, then you're not going to, I won't say waste the effort, but you understand it up front, and you're not taking that time value and placing it somewhere else.
Well, and there may be somebody else that I know that fits the parameters of your giving guidelines, and then I can just say, hey, what doesn't work for me, but you go on ahead here.
We are. Right.
And I think that's also building that culture of giving, because it does start with kids. But it also has to be within a community, because it's not a competition.
Yeah, right.
I mean, when you start building that, when you begin to really realize it and you begin to help and connect, organizations like.
And I think it's an important message for, I'm getting to be an old man, let's face it, and we're here. But if I can project that message to our youth of what we'd like to see coming, Ryan, you got young just like my sons, and there'll come a time when you guys just strap up and you start doing it, and you guys already have, okay? Right. You guys age demographic, I can name several, and you young men are jumping in there, your wives are jumping in there and helping as well, and that's perfect, and that's what it's. I guess I'm more concerned about the guys after you. Is that the gap I'm? Am I wrong as far as what I'm seeing when we go to these different events and we, Don and I, Kate and Tony, like we spoke about a little bit earlier, we go to different things. We kind of look the crowd over. Brian's there doing the math counting chairs, and you
really don't want to attend an event with us. I guarantee it. Like we are so bad.
I'm making sure we're getting enough money raised for the whatever program it's for, and I believe that there needs to be effort in that 18 to 30-year-old age demographic, and if we can help that along, that's what we got to do.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think you're hitting it right on the head with what you're saying, 100%. I'm 29.
Well, it's observation, okay?
Well, what I'm saying, no. Here's the thing. What I'm saying is I'm 29, and it wasn't until, honestly, the last couple of years that I've probably been doing more.
Well, and you're ahead of the curve, and that's perfect. Yes,
Yep. And I think my point is that I think it's on us, it's on you guys, it's on all of us to kind of point the direction. We talked about how, hey, go bring your kids out to go ring the bells. It starts there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And maybe, they get older and then it just clicks, and they may never say that it was because they rang the bells or whatever.
No,
but subconsciously, because you've installed that, it helps.
You're laying the groundwork. You're laying the groundwork
Exactly.
in there, baby.
Well, and
Exactly.
I actually let's give a shout out to Tom Sally is with the Culver Stockton Wildcats.
Yes.
He's the coach.
Yep.
And he's doing something really amazing with his players, and I'm there for it, all about it. And he's started having them partner. Like Downcountry's lucky enough to be one of the people that he's having
partners
them
with?
partner
Yep,
with.
nice.
And so like they're going to help serve at Rhinestones and Rodeo.
Perfect.
He's had them partner with the Dancer Love Foundation, and they were the Downcountry rowing team.
Yep.
You know, and I think the thing that people don't realize is, you know, it's a football team.
Sure.
But you now have all of his players. He's encouraging a culture of this is what we do as good humans, and this is the expectation.
And
that
not
you're
just
gonna-
about football. It's
Yeah.
about being great young men. You know, and
It's about
that's what it's about.
that
Truly.
whole human. And when we come back, we'll give you a little bit more of some of the up and comings. But for now, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan.
I'm
You
learning.
already know
I'm
we're
learning.
Magnus,
You did
we're
it.
Penniless,
You
we're
did
Laureless. It's our third and final segment. We got the darn it, dazzling, dynamic Brian
Wow.
Smith with us today.
She's getting
Seriously.
his-
Get it all out
Yeah.
there. My
His
goodness.
beautiful wife Donna is home with the grandkids, but we're talking all things Salvation Army today. Real quick, I want to give you kind of a little up and coming calendar. You have the Bucket Blitz, December 8th through 11th here in Quincy. Hannibal, you have Bucket Blitz, December 12th. You can ring the bell at any given point in time. January 10th, little plug, you got Rhinestones and Rodeo.
There it is.
And then March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day. And you have the United Way of Adams County doing their Family Feud, which is going to be a really great time. So if you don't have anything on your dance card for the upcoming months,
Well, now you do.
yeah, Merry Christmas.
There you go.
There we go.
Come have some fun.
It is. You're going to be all kinds of fun. It's a party hardy. Okay, so this Bring the Bells campaign, the Red Kettle campaign that Brian and Donna are chairing this year. So the physical locations end on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
Okay?
Correct.
So you can give at any point in time, but I told Brian I was going to put this pitch out here. If you have a youth group, a student group, a Bible study, a
Sports
book
team,
club,
so-
a
yeah,
sports team,
yeah.
you're doing any of those things, I would look and I would go, okay, I either have from now until December 24th, or I have from now until December 8th when the bucket list in Quincy, or the December 12th, and I would start collecting change.
Yeah.
I would just collect change. And you can take it anytime, but I'm just thinking, like, if you're going to do a campaign with one of your little book clubs, youth groups, it could be your youth sports team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
exactly right.
I mean, you
Well,
know.
we have helping with our toy run. We have got the local Corvette Club, Muddy River Riders Motorcycle Group, and so yeah, you can reach out and get all kinds of helpers.
I mean, it can be your lunch group. You know,
Yep.
if you're at an employment place, put a little jar there and just say, hey, we're going to donate this to the Salvation Army, to the Kettle campaign, and you do it. Now, they will still take online donations until December 31st. Or, I mean, I'm sure they'll take donations year round. However,
For the campaign.
For this
for
campaign,
part of this
yes.
campaign,
Yeah.
which is the biggest fundraiser they have,
sure.
then you can take online donations. And for some people, some of us, depending on where you are with children, like there are different age ranges. Like I will always give my child a present as long as I'm capable of it. However, that doesn't mean that we have changed some things we do, where like we have made donations in honor of,
for sure.
or in the name of, or things like those, and those things are important. So if you haven't signed up to Ring the Bell, though, I'm going to highly encourage it. Yes.
And you can, there's a app you can hit, there's a QR code you can hit on the buckets. You can sign up
Yes.
remotely right off your phone. It's real simple.
Yeah, and you can pick your location for the most part.
exactly
I mean,
right.
unless
You can pick
somebody
where you
else
wanna
is
go.
already there. Yeah.
The time slots are all filled. You just pick one that's open and away
Yeah,
you go.
I normally try to do the Neiman Foods,
Yep.
the Hy-Vee, or the Farm and Home. Although
Yeah.
Farm and Home is not a good one for me. Probably the other two aren't either, because I have a tendency to like food a lot. But Farm and Home is dangerous if I'm there, because
There's always goodies everywhere.
oh yeah, well,
exactly.
Yeah, my family is into horses. I
Yeah,
mean,
yes.
your family is into motorized vehicles
No,
and things like that.
we-
My family is equally has an issue when it comes to the large
Equestrian events
Oh
are
my
in her
gosh.
calendar, so that's a
Like-
good thing. Nothing wrong with that. That's
Like,
good.
Well, of course we need a horse. Then
Yeah.
you need a horse barn. Then you need a new saddle. Then you need a new bit. Then you need a new
You need
bridle.
another
Then,
horse to have fun with that horse.
then you need a
and-
trailer.
yeah.
And
You need somebody cleaning the stalls for you.
That's right.
And I'm
That's
out.
what Tony's
That's when I was young.
no, that's why God created teenagers. Teenagers are amazing at cleaning stalls. But
But on this, we do have fun events coming as well. Okay, so we have an event at the range that's coming up. Gonna swing some golf clubs, win some prizes, donate per swing. We
Oh,
food
fun.
going on. That'd be a great time. We also have a event that's going to go on at the patio. That's Chef Dunn's going to be down there doing some magic and raising some money for Salvation Army.
nice.
And Donna's working on. I think she's got it put to bed, but the wine gal and whiskey guy place. I think I don't know if it's set in stone. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this right
It's
now.
okay.
But oh well.
all right.
I'm sure it'll come together.
If
Donna's in on it, yes.
If Donna's in on it, it's going to happen. I mean,
And you can ask people about telling Donna Smith no. It doesn't work very often. Sometimes they pull it off, but not
right?
very
No,
often.
no. Donna's opinion of no is
Yeah.
the.
I'm gonna try harder.
But no, it's just another way of getting a yes. I mean,
Yeah,
like
true,
I mean,
yeah.
like my dad's listening here and he's banging his head because he's like, yeah. I don't do the word no. It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's not my
yeah.
like. That's just
Well,
like.
Growing up, I had a lot of guys tell me,
Mm-hmm.
Brian, you can't do that. Brian, that's not possible. Brian, you're a minnow in a big pond, man. I just took it as watch me push the pedal, make it go faster.
Dang right. That's right.
I'm
And
gonna
look where
twist.
you are now. You know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
twist the wrist.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
wow.
push the loud pedal to the floor and make it happen. So
I love that.
there you go.
No, again, it's just. It's
Do you
such a-
realize though? Have you ever heard the stat on that? Like most people, actually, they get the first no, and they just stop. 90% of the people when
Really?
they get the first no, it's a done. That's
Really?
that's like sales 101. Like
Yeah.
for 90% stop at the first no.
First words out of your mouth. Are you sure? And just roll it right back to me.
going.
Sure. It's a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
And then the old wheels start turning. And well,
Quite literally. Quite
Maybe,
literally, yeah.
maybe. Okay, so he goes from a no to a maybe.
It's look, you're dead on about it, and again, I think that mindset too, is the mindset you should have around this time of year too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the sense of like, are you sure? Like, again,
Yeah.
give $1, give whatever, give a little bit, just
Give up your
Join in.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Time.
Join in.
Exactly.
There's always meals to be prepped.
Yep.
I don't care what organization it is,
Yep.
pantry, whatever. There's so many, and an hour,
Yeah.
helping clean dishes.
Big.
Be a line cook. Fill plates, help out. I mean, empty trash cans. I've done that many times. Just run around because people trash cans getting filled. Nobody likes to do it.
And,
Exactly.
and the
My
other
job.
piece is they always are in need of. I mean, this time of year is also a time you're decorating your house for
Yes.
Christmas, but a lot of that kind of also means you're decluttering or you're
Yeah.
you're looking at different things or you're going through your closets or whatever because well, the Salvation Army. I mean, like
Yeah.
we haven't. We used to do the Mustang Style Store, and
Yep.
then people would pay $10 to go in, but then anything then we would take it to the Salvation Army and they go through it, they process it, they're amazing.
Yeah. And
No, I mean, and it's wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
and if you haven't been in the Salvation
Yeah,
Army
the
thrift
store.
shop, you
Yeah.
really need to go in there. I'm just telling
It's
you
a
right
full-blown
now.
store. Right? It's not.
Seriously,
Yeah,
it
it is.
It's fantastic in there.
But no, again, all those different dates, to help out, give your time if you can, give a little bit if you can. Again, it goes a long way. And throughout this campaign, it's always great every single year. And again, I know you touched on, the bucket blitz and things like that from, December 8th to the 11th and the 12th out in Hannibal. Obviously WGM's been doing that for
years.
years. I've been a part of it ever since I've gotten here. And again, it's going on 8 years now. And I'll be out there, Monday through Thursday, out doing my morning show out there in the cold.
Early in the morning doing your thing, baby.
Wind's howling. But it's fun. The reason I bring it up is
I'm the
this.
guy that honks at you, holding my
That's
coffee in
I
the air.
appreciate you. And I appreciate you. And again, people come by, and you know what? And here's the other thing. The same thing that you just said. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the honk, acknowledging
Yeah.
the fact that you guys are out
Yep.
there. Not just us, but everyone that's ringing the bells and doing
yeah.
the thing. And it's so cool while we're out there doing, my show is seeing all the different people come up, give a little bit, give a lot, however much they so please. Again, honk, whatever. It's such an awesome time of year. It's such a great
And again, if you're a grandparent and you're listening to this show, I highly recommend. You know what I mean? Sometimes your kids are busier, they're working. It's different life stages. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
go on ahead and take the grandkids and go ring a bell.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's fun.
And
I've done it, witnessed it.
And I know people are probably like, "Gosh, Kate, you're really on this ring the bell." They make it so easy. It really is so easy. You just go, you click, you register to ring, you pick where you want to go, you pick the time you want to go, you fit it in your schedule, but it is so fun to do, and it will get you in the spirit. If you're having a bad day, it just is great, but it's really great to do with kids.
Can I say it's soul rewarding? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And
I mean,
you know, to see a little smile on their faces, and somebody comes up and hands them the money, and then they get to put it in. So it's like, you know, my grandson's getting a contest. Oh, I did it 5 times. No, I got it 7 times. You know,
absolutely.
it's like,
Elliot and Ella used to throw down over that, like, my turn. Like, but it's good. I mean, like, that's what you want, and that's how you nurture it. So, anyway, as you get ready for this Thanksgiving season, or I guess this is airing the week after Thanksgiving, right? Okay. Well, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Guess we should have said that.
That's right.
As you get ready for the Christmas season, remember, just keep the Salvation Army in your thoughts and prayers. And please keep Downcountry in your thoughts and prayers, too. I hope you register to ring a bell. I hope I see you at Rhinestones and Rodeo or any of these other fun events that are coming up. But for now, this is #everyone talking about #everything. We'll see you next week. Be blessed.